Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Tarot Tuesday. It's going to be a spectacular reading today. Not that I have any special Halloween stuff, but maybe you caught my story, which brought you here to receive the messages from the universe. All right, so let's get this party started. Let's see what kinds of energies we've got going on for the week. If you didn't catch my Saturday psychic intuitive reading, then go ahead and catch it. It is on the channel, so go ahead and take a look at that one if you are inclined to do so. And so let's see what kind of new energies, what shifts have we achieved or felt in the last couple days. And we have Mercury going retrograde here, so we've got a couple little planetary shifts as well. So let's see what Spirit has to tell us in terms of how we can be best prepared for the energies of this week and past, present, future energies, a little bit of insight into how we can work with these energies for the highest and best of all. I'm not going to do much of a channel this morning, just to continue to pay attention to signs and synchronicities, continue to go with the flow and surrender as much as possible, and to take care of yourself as much as possible. And also just continue to really listen and pay attention to the details. And as we come up into Mercury retrograde, hi Kathy, good morning. You'll have to pay close attention to cycles that may be coming back up again for closure and or to renew or create something new. So you have to be very careful and attentive to the details and the subtle energetic messages coming through, what your gut instinct is telling you about certain situations. If they do come back around during Mercury retrograde, for either a no or, to listen to a truth, whatever it is for you, you'll have to be careful about discerning things that come back up for review in Mercury retrograde. So other than that, let's get started. So in the past position, we have the Archangel Michael cards here telling us to believe and trust. Fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. And this is something that we've been talking about for the last couple of months, and really ultimately through this entire experience of COVID-19 and beyond, because we have really been coming face to face with so many of our deepest fears within ourselves and being mirrored back from others, really to do with love and how we fear that and we doubt that. And the experiences that, the universe uses to catalyze or as a catalyst for our learning and growth, we have to really reflect and review and learn from those experiences to move forward so that we don't repeat past mistakes. So, believe and trust is a really great card. It means that we have maneuvered out of some really nasty, toxic patterns of thinking. And we've begun to come back into that energy of faith and trust and really surrendering to the greater good that is out there, the greater universal power or omnipresence that is, working and weaving its way for the highest and best of all beings. So let's see what we have to clarify. Believe and trust. Wish upon a star. This is really pretty. A lot of these Archangel Michael cards, the art is a little bit funny. So we look into the back here and there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful colors in this Archangel Michael card. But then we also have the beautiful colors here coming out in Wish Upon a Star. And this is from Colette Baron Reid's new Oracle, The Seven Energies. And I just really love this because it also is coming back around to that energy of belief and trust, having faith, surrendering that there are blessings, that there are miracles that are, your divine birthright. And you're coming into the energy of creation where you're manifesting that to yourself simply by being a magnet for miracles, being a magnet for those blessings to come in, and really being open to receiving them. So a really, really soft, uplifting, inspiring message that we really have opened the doors to abundance and really taken a step away from the painful, toxic cycles of the past and are being so courageous and confident in our ability to move forward and allow the new to come in for us. So wishing upon a star here, telling the universe what your dreams and your wishes are, asking for what you desire and saying this or something better. But you are really coming into the acknowledgement that you are open to receiving, and calling that energy in for yourself is really quite powerful. And from my Shadow Fantasy Oracle, we have telepathy or telepathy. You might be really communicating with your spirit guides, with your ancestors, past over loved ones. You might have a romantic soul bond, or just a soul bond in general. It could be a coworker, a collaboration that's coming in. It could be both. But you're really telepathically communicating, or there are messages coming in for you through music, through animal totem messages, through numbers. So really paying attention to what did you wish for, right? There are messages coming through for you in terms of what you've wished for in the past. And in this picture, we have this man here and this woman here, not that it has to be gender specific, but these two are in totally different places. He's in the woods, she's swimming or a dream state, and they're communicating telepathically. So if you don't have a lover or someone that you've been calling in, you've been wishing for in the 3D, yet you are manifesting and materializing them towards you, you're calling them in, you're already speaking in 5D, in the fifth dimension, in terms of the telepathic energy that you guys are sending back and forth. So this is a really interesting card to clarify for the believe and trust that your wishes are coming forward in a way that serves everyone in the highest and best. So all the wishes have to be win-win for everybody in order for them to manifest and come in. So you should be receiving telepathic messages, just reassuring you in terms of whether you need to be patient, whether it's coming in right away and you need to be ready. So listen for those subtle messages coming through, and they might not be so subtle. So in the present position, we have admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. We had this in one of our last couple sessions here, and it says, I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. So we are still working on facing ourselves, facing the truths about our emotions, facing the truths about where we are in life, facing the truths about what we want in relationships, maybe about past relationships, what we settled for, what we learned from, and what we're ready to experience next. So this is a really interesting card coming off of the believe and trust, wish upon a star, and telepathy, and then admit the truth. So this has something to do with your fundamental belief about something in your life. And perhaps this is about love. So really being able to change your perception and be open and flexible to receiving new perspectives about situations, your love life, where you're going next, what's the next step in your path. Admit the truth to yourself and move forward accordingly. This can also be an acknowledgement that you are willing and you have been willing to face the truth no matter what, whether it's good, bad, neutral. You're willing to face the truth, and that's a huge accomplishment, because before you might have tiptoed away from the truth, avoided the truth, not really wanted to enter into conflict for fear of a truth. And so now you're really being open, honest, and aware about the truths that exist on multiple levels and layers. So to clarify that, we have broken open. This is quite beautiful, resonating to the number 2, 8, or 10. So I'm going to read this one from her deck here. Let me just find my little booklet. All right, let's see. Broken open, 28. I can't remember if we got this one last time. Oh, it's in a different section here. Okay, here we are. The gift of grief, being shattered as a result of loss, the potential inherent in failure. So interesting that we're just talking about that. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. So that could be about your fears too, your fear of failure, and the grief about the past. Where are you at in your healing? There are situations in life when you see the value of loss, grief, and a broken heart. Yet it's not the pain or loss itself that must be the focus of your attention here. So moving from that pain and grief into the lessons learned, into the strength and courage you've achieved. It says, no, not even the story of what happened, the details surrounding what has brought you to your knees, is as important as what results from the experience. Can you see that this situation has broken you wide open, enabling you to have an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? You cannot be the same person as before. The only way forward is to move through it, without resistance or manipulation, without attempting to bargain with unseen forces, because none of your usual fallbacks can put you back together again. If you do fall prey to self-absorption or self-pity, it will just make it harder to get to the next gradual phase, leading to relief. Yet even if you are prolonging the inevitable, you will get there eventually. The gift is in accepting who you've become as a consequence of integrating this difficult experience and allowing yourself to be more than you were. The wisdom comes at a high price, but the value of your experience of moving through and to the other side is unsurpassed. Love the you that is the result of being broken open by life's challenges and lessons. So that's a really, really powerful one. Spirit acknowledging that you've made a huge sacrifice and that you took a pretty big spiritual and energetic hit in the recent past. And this is why you might have trouble admitting the truth and moving forward accordingly. So taking your time, is okay, and Spirit's just reminding you will get there eventually, no matter if you are resistant or you're really welcoming and going, okay, I went through a lot of pain here, and I'm finally at a position where I'm calling in dreams again. I'm restoring my faith and trust and belief in myself and the universe, and I'm ready to take the next steps to move forward despite this huge setback or despite this heartbreak that totally it shattered you to your core, enough so that it changed your entire outlook on life and it changed your entire outlook on yourself. And so this experience has been one of the biggest catalysts and fires in your entire life to rebirth you as the phoenix that you are and to get you to that next level. And really, you're the person who was willing to get through that experience, to be broken open and to get to the other side and to share your strength, to share your wisdom eventually, and how that experience has shaped you. So to clarify the broken open and admit the truth to yourself, we have, sneaky behavior. So, this truth involves lies. It involves deception. So the truth might be that someone in your recent history or someone in your present is toxic for you, that they are not, their version of love is not the same version as you. You see things differently, or you're willing to face fears and they are not. They're still in an energy of manipulation and resistance, of taking from other people, of hiding from the shadows, of hiding from their truth or their highest self. They're in a comfort zone. They're not ready. And it's, it might be really hard to admit someone betrayed you, cheated on you, lied. It might be really hard to admit that someone hid their true intentions, or they hid many versions of themselves. They wore a lot of masks. You might have thought you knew this person and then you realized you really didn't know them, or you projected a version of them that you wanted, and the version that is the truth is, leaves a lot to be desired, and it broke you open. The sneaky behavior broke you open, and Spirit is saying you have the power. You have all the power now that you have been willing to move through this experience, because even if you gave your power away, taking it back is one of the most beautiful, empowering steps, because you went through the experience that broke you open, that brought you to your knees, that shattered you into a new version of yourself. And this, the universe will work on this person, will work with this person, depending on their soul contract, their soul path. Perhaps they are a catalyst for other people in this way, but perhaps you were a catalyst for them and their learning as well to move out of this sneaky behavior. But in order to admit the truth, you have to admit that there was sneaky behavior, either from yourself or from another party. And so if, someone's not being honest or truthful with themselves, they're not going to be able to be honest and truthful with you. If they have fear about love, if they're self-sabotaging, if there's addictions, they're not healthy in their own right, and they will not be healthy for you. And so moving away from that toxic energy, those toxic patterns, and recognizing the toxic patterns for exactly what they are is very important for you to move forward at this time. But obviously a very, very big lesson for Spirit to be coming in and saying, you were broken open, this took you to your knees. So very, very beautiful messages about your path and moving forward from this huge life-altering catalyst in your soul's journey and evolution. So let's see what we have in the future position here. It says, decide to be happy now. Thank you for helping me open my heart to happiness, joy, and bliss. I'm now willing to see all the goodness in my life. So perhaps, admitting this truth to yourself and acting accordingly allows you to move away from that pain even further, move away from that story of who, of how, of perhaps having shame or questioning. You're really moving out of that brain fog or confusion, cognitive dissonance, anger, hatred, resentment. You're moving away from these energies that are stealing your power or just simply energetic loss. And you're deciding to be happy now. You're deciding to reclaim your power. You're deciding to move forward as content as you can possibly be. And with that, those believe and trust and wish cards in the past, you're claiming something better. You're saying, no, that is unacceptable. I will not go through that again. I will not be afraid to face the truth. And I will claim my contentment in the present moment. So instead of being stuck in that past wheel or cycle, you're really going, okay, no, I've learned, I've looked, I've brought a new level of awareness to my behaviors, to their behaviors. Now I don't need to keep picking it up and turning it around like a Rubik's Cube. I can let it go, and I can focus on my present and begin to manifest from this present energy, this new energy of courage, of willingness, of surrender, of truth, like ultimate truth in yourself, and moving forward to bring in this happiness and contentment in the present. To clarify that, we have a higher view. This one's really pretty, and this one also came out in one of our readings. Resonated to the number 5, a lot of change happening. We're still going through those huge shifts and changes here. So it says, seeing from a higher perspective, conscious neutrality, letting go of judgment and assumptions, non-attachment, the ability to remain unbiased. So once you have come to that energy of truth, like the honest truth, okay, that person is toxic, or okay, that relationship was toxic, or I had these subconscious beliefs that allowed me to attract in or go through an experience that was harmful so that I could learn to put up boundaries, so that I could learn what my worth was or my value was. And now that I am in that, I have a higher perspective, a higher wisdom, a higher knowledge, a knowing, because you were able to go through that experience and you were willing to learn from it. You were willing to change. You were willing to grow. You were willing to evolve. So it says, sometimes our lives are suction cupped to the ends of our noses and we can't see beyond ourselves. This happens to everyone once in a while. We fall into an automatic response to life and react from a learned, conditioned place rather than one of awareness. Being in reactivity keeps us repeating old patterns. Conversely, the avoidance of our triggers could keep us in our comfort zone, policing our attempts to new things. And that could be someone who is in this sneaky behavior and stuck, like really stuck. They're just in their old ways. They need to learn for themselves how to let go of the past and move forward. So no policing other people either. The way to be successful in your endeavor to connect with others is to step out of your sticky perception of the world. Imagine yourself sitting on the back of a bird 1,000 feet above your life. Wouldn't the perspective change? From a higher point of view, you can see for miles. You could let go of naming or blaming the obstacles in your way and instead easily discover a path to more beautiful and compelling vistas. And I think that is coming back to the stories that we tell. Time to stop bringing that story back to life over and over and over so that we can move and bring in new stories or experiences. More can become available to you in all aspects of your life when you are able to step back and get a little distance. You can wait before responding, be more graceful in your interactions, and see how everything is connected and everything is a gift. The world is open for you today. All you have to do is move to higher ground, be mindful, and celebrate the spectacle of life's dance. I saw a few grouses, or grouse, the other day, and they have the sacred dance, the sacred rhythm, and it's really reminding us of this flow. So if you are willing to learn and to grow, to evolve, and to take this higher perspective, really that's going to help you. It's going to help you understand to the core of your soul, to that element of your inherent being, your inherent nature. And it will allow you to love again. It will allow you to cultivate freedom again, that trust again, that belief. Because if you're willing and if you have taken that higher vision in the past, you're now going to more readily go to that higher vision rather than that sticky suction cup or tunnel vision that the card is talking about. So since it's in our future position with decide to be happy now, Spirit is reminding us that the bigger we look at life, the bigger we open ourselves up to infinite possibilities. Like if we have this, okay, we see this many possibilities for ourselves versus this many, versus this many, versus this many. So it really depends how, open are you to the field of vision that Spirit has for you versus the one that you can see for yourself. And so are you able to let go just enough so that that vision can flourish and develop into your material realm? And from my deck, the Shadow Fantasy Oracle, here we have shadow work. So decide to be happy now, a higher view and shadow work. So this shadow work is still prevalent. We're still going to be working through it through Mercury retrograde here. And just knowing that part of this shadow work is linking the ability to dream, to have faith, to trust, in addition to admitting the truth. Okay, so if new information comes in, you have a new truth to admit, and then you act accordingly, right? You might be broken open again. You might have a new experience where you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. And it might not be, negative. It did talk about grief. So I know that that is connected to our past. But since it's in our present position, we might have some experiences here where we're evolving and growing even more. And with the shadow work in the future position, Spirit is saying, part of that higher view has to do with the willingness to do the shadow work. And that is going to continue for the rest of your life. And so there will be new facets of the shadow that you're going to be working with, or new facets of others' shadows that you're going to see. But the evolution, the strength, the courage, the wisdom, that is something that no one can take away from you at this point. So really honor the learning and the lessons that have gotten you to this point in your life. And those lessons are going to help take you to the next level, take you to the next version of yourself. So you guys, that's part of the main reading here. I just wanted to remind everyone that you can find me on Facebook at Kindred Heart Tarot. I have a link to PayPal there if you'd like to donate and or request any card decks to use in the live videos. Give me a like over there. And if you haven't subscribed already to the channel and you're enjoying it, please go ahead and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I come on for a live. If you've enjoyed the reading, then please give me a thumbs up. Help me grow the community here. And I did pull a card from the Return of Spirit deck from Cheryl Lee Harnish. So we're going to see what frequency, what energy is coming through for today and, for, a few days prior, a few days after, to see what this kind of bubble snapshot of energy in terms of frequency. And then I've pulled a card from my Kindred Spirit Love Oracle and Tarot to get an idea of what we're working with in terms of our soul relationship with ourself and others, so romance and those higher connections. And I've clarified that with a tarot card. So we'll really get a good idea of what's going on in terms of our love lives, our soul bonds, soul connections. So let's see, what our frequency energy, that fractal energy from the return of spirit. We have divinity. I love this card and I love the colors. My favorite color is purple. And I love blue as well. So this is such a beautiful card. I'll just kind of leave it up there for a moment for you to meditate on, to see what you feel, to see what you can see in there and how it kind of affects you overall. But this beautiful energy of divinity, let us take a looky-loo here. I'm just going to have a quick glass of water. It's raining here. I don't know about you guys. But I might go for a little drive in the rain and do some meditating, and just kind of after this reading is done, I might switch off social media for the day. You are a beautiful, wise, and loving soul who has braved the perils. Once again, Spirit is saying, we see the perils that you've been through. We know it brought you to your knees. So you are a beautiful, wise, and loving soul who's braved the perils and difficulty of incarnation to be here on earth and in service to humanity. You uplift the energy and consciousness of others through the work that you do, whether you are aware of it or not. There are billions of souls residing on the planet at this time, yet only a small number of them are here to help humanity evolve to its fullest potential. And you are one of those souls. Who you are is a gift to this world. Hi, Charlotte. Definitely. And pure energy, I do pull cards at the very end here, and I'm almost finished. So who you are is a gift to this world. Even at the best of times, it can be difficult to remember this, of course, especially lately, especially when being human feels so real, right? Like even if you have the recognition of spirit and you talk to nature and you have animal totems and you might have mediumship skills, and there's just such a connection, a profound connection with you and spirit and nature and everything around us. And then at the same time, you can be like, this being human business is really, really tough. And you're like, I want out of here. Can I have the next rocket ship back home? But it says your connection to spirit is much stronger than you think. You are a living, breathing channel of the divine. It moves through you in all that you do. It flows through the words that you speak, even when you don't intend it to. In every situation, you are a transmitter of the higher cosmic energies and wisdom. It is those who have the greatest gifts who most often face the biggest challenges in life. So know that your challenges will motivate you to share that wisdom and be of service and be a channel for the divine even more. So there is a reason, even if in your human self, it was so challenging, it was so difficult, and the pain felt so real. It's time to move forward from that and bring back the frequency of your divinity, of your inherent birthright, to be powerful and empowered in your service to humanity and to the universe and cosmic energies that be. So hold your head up and keep your faith. Another reminder, in the beginning we had believe and trust. Another reminder to keep your faith. And of course, wish upon a star indicates that you have faith and trust that your wishes can come true. So these challenges are the means to seeing and understanding the strength, wisdom, and compassion you hold within yourself. So really about the heaven and earth within yourself. On a higher level, your soul chose to have a direct experience of the trials you have faced. Through each event, you have become better equipped and skilled so that you in turn could help others. And I feel like you're going to see this on a new level coming up here. You are a very special soul with an important part to play in the healing and betterment of the people on this planet. You are born to be in service to humanity through the divine gifts and knowledge you have carried with you into this lifetime. You are here to ignite the light in others to realize their own divinity. So by you admitting the truth to yourself, of making wishes and trusting and having faith, of being willing to see sneaky behavior in yourself and others, allowing this energy of being broken open to express in its full divinity instead of going back to the story of the pain. So now you have transmuted that, you have alchemized it into wisdom, and you can share that with others. You can help heal others, and or you can simply lead by example. You can just be you. You don't have to do anything other than be yourself to be of service in terms of that divine birthright and the energy that the divinity card was talking about, how you chose to come here not just to experience life as a human and incarnate here. You chose to come here with dual purpose. Okay, you came here to experience being human again, but you also chose to come here to be of service to humanity, to help heal, to help inspire, to help uplift, right? So, with that being said, let's take a look at our relationship energies. What do we have here? Authentic self. This is fantastic. This is from my Kindred Spirit Love Oracle. So bravo, you or another party has given yourself permission to fully be in your power. You have released judgment on yourself and the need for approval or permission to be who you are. You have achieved a level of clarity and freedom on who you are. You're revealing your true authentic self. Yes. So by being willing to be broken open by this sneaky behavior or false deception, illusion, untruth that we have been through in ourselves or others, or a situation that was unclear or had a lot of confusion, or there was a lot of fear and doubt and uncertainty, we have used that energy to come into an energy of being happy now, of claiming joy or contentment in our present moment and creating that. But this energy of the authentic self, this is absolutely phenomenal, beautiful energy. And kudos to you and good work for coming this far. And, not seeking approval is something huge. And not seeking permission to be yourself is also huge. So I feel like you're going to be making some huge, positive, amazing, powerful steps in your life path in the end of 2020 and coming up into 2021. To clarify authentic self, and drink lots of water today, because apparently I'm feeling really thirsty. And I feel like the throat chakra is really active, or wants to be active, but there's some divine timing energy at play too. So it's really being respectful to respond and not to react, to use all of the wisdom you've gained from seeing the truth about yourself, seeing the truth about others and a situation, and really bringing all of that in together in a really stable core facet of yourself as we move forward. So with the authentic self card, to clarify, we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is so beautiful. We really are coming into, and I love the artwork here, I'll just put it up again. We're coming into this energy where we know who we are. We know what we want, what we desire, what we deserve. And now we're working out the tiny details and paying attention to those details of how do we get there now? How do we be practical and dream, right? How do we be practical and have that belief and trust and faith? And in terms of that too, know that we have these telepathic communications, this 5D communication, this synchronicity, these messages, these omens coming through, possibly from a lover or a divine counterpart here that is in our energy field. But we're still working on some energies of timing in terms of when their frequency will be in alignment, when it's the highest and best for each party to come together. But the 10 of Pentacles really is saying success in so many different ways here. Like you finally reached a pinnacle point in your life. And I always read her description here. So she says, enjoying affluence and being able to appreciate luxury and the good fortune that has befallen you, the ultimate and worldly success, the result of long-term efforts. So as you have built a stable foundation within yourself, so being able to admit the truth, being able to see sneaky behavior, situations, manipulations within yourself and others, you're able to be aware of it. You're able to heal it. And in doing so, you have actually done what you probably wished for. which is created stability and security within yourself, so that when that blessing comes in the physical, when you get that offer, that opportunity, I want you to join my team, here's $100,000 to go towards your startup fund. I really want to see you go far. Here is an inheritance. Here is a gift of blessing. This is a job offer, a career opportunity, or you have an insight, an epiphany, a spiritual energy that comes through where you're like, wow, I know what my next step is, and I am confident in taking it. So that's the energy that you have co-created and alchemized with the universe so that you can live your best life. You can be happy now and in the future, and you can really experience a different aspect to life. You can experience the other side of the coin, so to speak. If you've been in that energy of poverty consciousness or victim mentality, really flipping that, turning the wheel and moving forward as the most authentic version of yourself that you've ever been, and claiming these pentacles. Because if you don't think you have earned these pentacles, you might fear the success that comes with money if you haven't had it for really a long time. And so, this is a beautiful energy saying your authentic self is totally and completely at peace with receiving all the blessings that you have called in. And spirit has no issue whatsoever to bringing those in, because you have built the foundation of nobility. You have built a foundation of humility. And so you will lead and you will do good things with those finances, with those blessings that are coming through. So those are some pretty awesome messages coming through. So let's see what we've got here. We don't have too many people on the live right now. And so just as a reminder, if you are new to the channel, you're checking me out for the first time, feel free to subscribe, catch the next videos. I'm usually on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And I do basically a psychic intuitive reading. Sometimes I channel. I do read the tarot cards, and usually I will pull personal cards at the end of the reading. It was snowing earlier. Hey, I did hear it was snowing where I am too, but a little bit higher. So I'm going to be pulling personal cards. I know Charlotte has requested one. She's hopping on a call. So I'm going to pull one for her so she can catch it on the replay. And if anyone else wants a reading, just put yes, please in the comments, and I will be happy to pull a card for you for the energies for you for today. Once again, if you want to donate to my page or request a deck, you can click on the PayPal link on my Facebook page at Kindred Heart Tarot. You can also find me on Instagram at Mollie Kindred. And let's see. So this is going to be Charlotte's. Here we go. Ooh, wowee. I like that. Seeing Beyond, resonating to the number 3, 6, and or 9, of course, but you have 3, 6, 9 energy. So really potent, powerful energies here. Third eye, obviously, activations here. Powerful, powerful, intuitive energies. And let's see what this card has to say. This is Seeing Beyond from the Colette Baron Reid 7 Energies Oracle. So, Charlotte 36, Seeing Beyond. Here we go. Vision. The capacity, yes. The capacity to imagine something, to look beyond the material, beyond the obvious, the realm of the transpersonal, options and possibilities, getting out of your own way and discarding your projected outcomes. Do you consider things only within the framework of what you already know? Or can you allow yourself to see beyond into the vastness of potential? We are all gifted with a magical ability of imagination. And when we open to it, we become a conduit for divine vision greater than our own. That's another repeat of higher view for you. And there are 2 ways to view the world and co-create with it. One is from a face value perspective. What you see is what you get. The second is allowing your imagination to see beyond what something is right now and move into a place that doesn't yet exist in the material world. In this cosmic playground of possibilities, you see into a future where anything you imagine has the potential to become real. If you use your imagination faithfully and consciously, avoiding the traps of fearful projection and drama, you can connect to any reality you truly want to experience. When you open yourself fully even further, you're often gifted with a divine vision. We talked about that in the main reading. As a practice, you can reimagine that vision over and over to strengthen it. As you channel these visions through you, you become a superconductor for the world. Today, know that your vision, what you imagine forming in the invisible, will be delivered into the material world. Don't worry about the timing of things. That is in the hands of the universe. Your job is to continue to imagine, take a few steps forward, then imagine some more. The universe's job is to make it real. What a fabulous partnership. That is awesome. So, Kathy, let's get our card for you here. I feel like using this deck just to learn and kind of see about the energies that this deck has. Ooh, beautiful. So, Kathy, we have Let It Go. And we have two beautiful little birds, hummingbirds, actually. So I'll show you the picture here. And you also have a 2-4, so 246, an ascending number. And let's see what this beautiful card has to say with a little heart here. I haven't read this one yet. So let's find out, Kathy. Sorry, my leg's asleep. I'm just going to move my chair a little bit here. Okay. Forgiveness, healing resentments, shedding the role of the eternal martyr, letting go of victimhood, cutting the ties that bind you to a destructive story, releasing pain so you can move into the lesson it offers, relinquishing the need to be right. Wow. So that takes us back right into that present line in the general reading here. There are times in life when you must forgive, lest you become a hostage to your anger, frustration, disappointments, and resentments. This is not about condoning bad behaviors. It's not about condoning the sneaky behavior or minimizing a hurt done to you. And that's really important. Forgiveness is simply a commitment to stop telling an old story so you don't carry its burden anymore. So deciding to be happy now. If you don't forgive, old hurts fester and become distorted, causing you pain over and over again. You become trapped in a prison of your own making, tied to the story that you were a victim. It's time to cut the invisible cords attaching you to the situation, preventing you from moving forward. The truth is, you are victimizing yourself every time you recreate the unresolved hurt in your mind or speak of it with friends. And this is a big one for healing. You know, you have to use your intuition in terms of when it's time to stop telling the story out loud, when you've done enough of that to heal, and when you can move forward and stop re-engaging with it and opening the wound. So for others who are listening, just know that yes, you will have a time of processing, you will have a time of telling the story, but a time will come, and this is what this card is indicating for Kathy, a time will come when you have to surrender the situation and you have to forgive all that you can forgive of the situation and move forward. And forgiveness is not condoning. Once again, you're not forgiving someone for hurting you necessarily. It's an energy of forgiveness for yourself so you can move forward and take the lesson and take the wisdom and take the knowledge without continuing to have to look back and be re-traumatized by something that really hurt you. So it says, rather than allow this folly to repeat, surrender the situation to your higher power, whatever that is for you. Now is the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms and forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. Consider the ancient Hawaiian practice known as ho'oponopono. This simple prayer is a beautiful way to begin the process of forgiveness. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. Or I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's based on the idea that we are all responsible for the reality we see in the world. If something is awry, whether it's your perception, your emotional reactions, your judgment, and so forth, it's up to you to clean it up. Forgiveness is the key to a liberated and meaningful life, no matter what method you choose, just do it. I think forgiveness is also really, in and of itself, a surrender to the divine, because if you're not in forgiveness, you're resisting the lesson that happened. And so once you move into the energy of forgiveness, you're saying to the universe, I understand that there was a lesson there, right? You're innately saying and communicating to the universe, I understand, I am aware. instead of rejecting it, saying, no, that wasn't supposed to happen. No, I didn't want that to happen, right? It moves into a different frequency and energy. So I'm glad that resonated with you, Kathy, and is a powerful message for those who catch the replay and stay to the end, and those who are watching live. You're welcome, Kathy, and I'm glad that resonated with you. I'm really loving exploring this new deck, but how pretty, and it's really showing the ties to, this string, this chord between the heart story. So really, really interesting there. And let's see, Tatiana, I'm going to pull a card for you. I'm not sure if you're still on the live, but I will pull a card for Tatiana. This card is for you. Once again, guys, if you've enjoyed the reading, give me a thumbs up there. Subscribe to the channel. And if you so feel called to do so, you can also find me at Kindred Heart Tarot on Facebook and Mollie Kindred on Instagram. So Tatiana, you have the land between. Ooh, this is a really interesting card here. So the land between resonating to the number 4. So you have some balance here, which is indicated in the card imagery. So let's read this. And this is the Oracle. If you're looking for which one I'm talking about by visual memory, this is the Oracle of the 7 Energies by Colette Baron Reid. So here we are. The land between for Tatiana. This is your private message for today. Being between worlds, learning to be okay while at the threshold of what was and what will be. A time of waiting and evolving, gray areas, something essential yet still in development, metamorphosis. Ooh, this is a big one right now. Huge energy right now. You are in a process of change. You know that you were called to it and can no longer be who you were. So that's, something that we've been discussing this whole reading. But you aren't sure what the next experience of your life will be. You are in between what was and what could be in a pupal stage, like during the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly. However, you can't just skip the messy parts. You have to endure the unknown and uncomfortable as you reinvent yourself. So you are transmuting and alchemizing in the unknown as you're reinventing yourself. So as you are in that state of discomfort and confusion, you're actually developing the new you in that space. So it says the thing is, you're not quite there yet. You have one foot in the past, even if you're ready to shed that version of yourself and become something new. I think this resonates for a lot of us right now. We just have that one toe back in the comfort zone because everything in the future is so wild, so unknown, so raw, so beyond in terms of that higher vision. We know that it's going to take us to places we've never been before. And that can be a little bit scary. So you must start redefining who you are in the context of your question. What do you believe is possible when you get to the next place? Can you explore this stage of your evolution to get to know yourself better? So playing with where you think you might find yourself. Are you going to be a public speaker? Are you going to go to the next level in mediumship? Are you going to be more authentic and open and vocal about who you are authentically? We had this authentic self card come up. So really trying to tap into what the possibilities might be without limiting yourself. The process in between worlds here is where things get really interesting. You learn how to manage your fear. And we were talking about that in the present position here. Fear of ourselves and fear of others, or fear of love. How to stay present in the now. How to see in the dark. So the shadow work was in the future position in the general reading with a higher view. And so we're really getting used to that shadow. So in the future, can you imagine the empowerment that we're going to feel not having that same fear, trepidation, anxiety, walking on eggshells about the shadow within ourselves and the shadows in others? It's going to be really, really interesting. So it says you absorb the lessons offered to you with grace because you can't go any faster. Spirit is saying you can't go any faster. So this is a time also to continue to absorb the lessons that you have just recently attained. And that's really important, because if you feel that impatience and that restlessness, then the spirit is just giving you a subtle reminder, or not so subtle. Hey, there's a reason you're absorbing the lessons of the past. And to do so with patience is to do so with grace. You can't go any faster, even if you were like on a snail, kind of whipping the snail. Let's go. No, it's not going to go any faster for you, no matter what you do or try. This is a real test of emotional fortitude, patience, trust, and humility, right? The humility comes because if you're learning about empowerment and you're learning about your co-creation, your transmutation, the ability you have to manifest, the ability you have to work with spirit and to actually call in the highest and best for yourself, you can get this energy of empowerment. And then you go through the human embodiment, trials, tribulations, lessons, and then you can get really down on yourself and say, I feel powerless. Like, if I'm so powerful, then how come things aren't moving? How come things aren't going forward? Like, what do I have to do? I'm now going to bang my head against the wall. But Spirit is saying that in this no man's land, in this place of you can't go any faster, that's when you're really, really testing out the peace within you. So how you can stay calm in the chaos. So once you have made this no man's land your home, it will be part of you. Wow, incorporating the void. That's a big one. Then whatever was set in motion comes to life. This is what you've been waiting for. When you look back, you will grow to love the place in between. For that is where you were reborn. That is such a beautiful card. So you are being reborn here in the sun, in this place in between. So of both worlds. You're being born of both worlds, heaven and earth. So beautiful, beautiful messages for everyone coming through today. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will catch you next time on Saturday. I might pop up in between depending on how the energies are for random card pulls, etc. But we will see. So I want you guys to take care of yourselves and really give yourselves credit for how far you've gotten in this earth walk and the lessons that you've been able to really, just get into the heart of it and really take heed of the energies and the lessons that you have gone through, and knowing that wisdom will be shared and is already of worth to so many. So thank you again for tuning in, you guys. If you're just catching and joining on, usually I do card pulls at the very end. And so hopefully they resonated with those of you who I pulled for. This is the end of the reading here, so I'm not going to do any more card pulls. But I will catch you next time on Saturday. You guys have an amazing Tuesday and take care of yourselves. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao.